too many to mention here, but I do want to take this time to say that I hope that you create your own happiness and that you become a healthy and whole individual during this season and beyond. I wish that for your family as well. My name is Crystal, and celebrating or not, have a wonderful season. Stay grateful and take care.
Nothing else sounds as good as
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is now 7:17. And we are activated mornings this morning. Just want to say good morning to everyone within the sound of my voice. Everyone getting ready for work. Just starting your day. Special good morning to you. It's Tuesday. Friday's almost here. Good morning, Roleza.
The week barely started, Ari. You're already on the countdown. Good morning, Ari. How are you?
I am well and good in the Lord. How was your weekend?
How was my weekend? It felt like it was so long ago, but I didn't do anything, What did I do?
In the same
Oh
boat.
gosh, yeah. Saturday I slept. I woke up, I watched documentaries, I slept again, watched documentaries, ate, and did it all over again. That was a beautiful Saturday. Listen, whenever I have weekends where I actually don't do anything, as in I take a day to just do absolutely nothing, those are the days that I enjoy the most.
Well, any day that there isn't a more than St. Vincent and the Grenadines is a good day.
Point.
A great day.
I actually thought about it on the weekend when I woke up on yesterday, and I was like, okay, I haven't heard anything. This is good news. So, let's just keep it going.
Yeah, so last week I saw this story on Searchlight's front page, and I casually scrolled past it. Well, I passed the pages because it's a very similar story to what was said at the Leyu youth rally. But the head of the CID is saying although police intelligence has led investigators to suspected criminals in the country, they're about to wiggle their way out of potential charges as a result of support from persons close to them. So in the article, he's claiming that the police has increased patrols, increased raids, and other police work. Good morning, Anne. And other police work, but persons are assisting the criminals. So he was on NBC, NBC's Police on the Beat program, where he was urging citizens, Vincentians, not to assist the criminals, and if they have any information, please come forward. But Vincentians will always be skeptical to come forward, and I know on Cop Chat last week, was it Billy?
Yes.
Yeah, Billy was
Billy.
saying that the civilians need to take responsibility as well. And while I agree with him, it is not that simple for a person to all of a sudden feel secure giving information to police, because whether we like it or not, the police are some of the criminals. Look, we even see the 23-year-old officer last week, sorry. I have to say allegedly since it's at court, but allegedly handing his service pistol to another man to threaten somebody. That's a prime example. Prime example. So how are we supposed to feel comfortable as civilians giving information to police, cooperating with police when we're not safe?
You see, the thing about the area is that I know it's going to take some time. I think this is where the problem probably is stemming from right now, in that there has been that disconnect between the police and the civilians, or police and general society for a while. We didn't necessarily see them interacting. I remember you making the point once of when you were growing up, you used to see officers walking through the community. You knew who the community officers were. That was news to me because I never witnessed it myself, So I know that it's going to take some time in order for that, what is it? That comfort, that security, that feeling of confidentiality to be built between civilians and the force. It's going to take some time, right? But on the other hand, when we are knocking the police can only do as much as they have information that they can work with, right? And I can understand where the head of CID, Francis, is coming from in that they are trying, they are making an effort. But if we're aiding and abetting criminals, then how are they going to effectively do their job?
Well, there's a lot of elements here
Mm-hmm.
because we did grow up in a culture where people praise criminals because back in the days, the criminals were the one helping the community when the government wasn't.
When they were
And now,
glorified.
they still glorify the criminals. It's now in documentaries you'll be seeing the negative aspect to the crime life, and you see how they did take away from the community that they seem to be publicly protecting.
It's like, how could you be selling drugs knowing that you're harming the life of somebody, but yet we're praising you for building a school or a clinic within the community?
Yeah, so you're protecting the community, but you're also killing people. But I feel like the police need to just reinstate a little the civilians' confidence in them, because people aren't confident in police work these days.
But to be fair though, do you feel as if they're making an effort?
Yeah.
And I think because they are, let's try to give them a blight in terms of not being so harsh with them, because to me it's always, once you see somebody's making an effort, I'm a little bit more lenient towards my harsh criticisms towards such persons, right? And of late, the police have been trying. The thing of it is that we are seeing one or two cases of the bad eggs. In the case of the officer last week, with the matter that's before the court, that is a bad egg. But should we bring down the entire force on account of this one person?
Well, that's what Colin John was saying on his way out. That the force is very successful and it's a very good force with a few bad eggs that don't represent the entire force, which is true. The 5% don't represent the body, but the 5% is at the forefront. The 5% of what people are dealing with. People are dealing with officers who would on raids punch them, destroy the stuff purposely. When you do things like that, you're not going to have people having faith in the officers and in the system. You have to show your empathy, you have to show the humanity when you're doing certain things. And I know with violent criminals, you have to meet them with aggression. But what about the non-violent ones? Or what about the wrongfully accused ones? You have to take these things into consideration, but we'll see what the future holds in that regard.
I think, and the thing of it is that, I mean, as citizens, we can't be harboring criminals. How are we going to get rid of them if we continue to uphold what they're doing? In the article, Francis spoke about, by the time they look to do raids or they look to do searches, the criminals have already handed their weapons to someone else to hold for them. Right now, how are we going to bring them to justice if we don't have actual evidence to present towards the court, because you're holding a weapon for somebody who has committed a crime, right? So we have to do our part as citizens. Yes, I know it's not necessarily going to be easy. Being able to trust again, or to reclaim trust in a person, an individual, an organization in this case, is going to take some time, but the police are trying. They are making an effort. Up to Sunday, what's his name? Buju, Trevor Bailey was here on the WEFM Issue at Hand program. So it's in those little ways in which we see that they are making an effort to be a little bit more personal.
I can say since the appointment of the new commissioner, he did say, and I will always repeat this, that he's going to have a better relationship with the media and the public, and I've been seeing it.
Right.
I've been seeing more cop programs. I've been seeing more police on social media. I've been seeing more police events being pushed. So
and too with the new director of the National Commission of Crime Prevention. And in speaking with him last week, when he mentioned to us that there are going to be new initiatives for next year, those are things that we have to look forward to. All right. So We know that we are on a high in terms of the murder rates this year. Let that be it. Let that be it. Police are trying their best. Everybody is going to work hand in hand. We starting fresh 2024, right?
So,
Ari?
yeah, man. So I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before. I saw my good friend Zena live, but she was live for 4 hours. I can't say how much somebody live for 4 hours, and I was wondering
The clicking song.
Okay, how can I sit down and talk to my phone for 4 hours? And then I realized what the issue was. They were having an issue with the fish fest, the bag of fish fest. And on One News, there's a press release that was sent where it reads, the organizers of the popular bag of fish fest say that unjust disruptions cast a shadow over the future of the festival. In a press statement sent to One News December 8th, the organizer said, in a distressing turn of events, the Bag of Fish Fest, a cultural cornerstone and economic lifeline for the community, has been subjected to unjustified disruptions over the past few weeks. The abrupt and unexplained shutdowns by the police have left the community bewildered and grappling with the economic fallout. So this press release was written by Zena Lewis, the president of the organizing committee, and she expressed her concern over the lack of communication and explanation from the authorities. Now, I think the Bag of Fish Fest was on Sunday, and I know a lot of people usually look forward to
Sunday?
Bag
I thought it
of.
was a Friday. I don't know why I thought it was always
It
on
was
a Friday.
it was at a Friday night. Was it Friday night?
I think it's usually on a Friday night.
I'm trying to remember which day it was.
Okay, but yeah. It's held once a month.
Yeah.
Right.
But I know a lot of people usually look forward to it. I personally haven't been to Fish Fest, but I know a lot of persons usually look forward to it. And I know it's a staple in the community of Barley. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if she got answers for that.
Right. So what it is, the concern has been is that the noise. Because I'm not sure how late the Fish Fest tends to go. I know that persons outside of Barley tend to go to Barley in order to enjoy that particular activity. I've always heard about it. I would see snaps on it, but I've never actually participated myself. Now, I think the concern here is, so yes, the activity, it's been happening for years, right? It's been happening for years. It's held once a month. It is a way for persons within the community, because Barley is known as the Blackfish, well, I guess capital of SVG, if you want to put it that way, right? They're a fishing community, known for their blackfish oil, crisps, etc. Right? So it's a way in which for persons within the community to make some money that one day within the month. Now, what seems to be happening is that there's a bit of a conflict in terms of the music that comes from that activity, and some residents, and this is what I gathered from the article, some residents aren't happy. Now, when we had that conversation regarding Lance Oliver and the raising of pigs or having a farm within a residential area, this is also one of those conversations that we have in terms of we don't necessarily have zoning within our communities. We don't have designated zones for recreation, for entertainment, for residents, right? For actual persons to live. And the problem what tends to happen is that there is a conflict with persons who just want to be able to go to bed and go to sleep, while there are others who want to be able to enjoy certain activities within the community. And sometimes I wonder, how are we going to strike that balance? Is it a case where, let's say, the music is on, or there's amplified music, that all residents are going to be informed, or persons are going to know that, let's say, at 2:00, the music is supposed to shut off, right? What happens in cases like that? Now, I know for me as a resident, there are times when, yes, music might be keeping within the community. The community may be having an activity. Yes, I would like to be able to go to sleep without hearing music within my head. But there are times for me when I have to tell myself it's a give and take, because if persons are only doing it for this one time, sometimes it's once a week. I can be tolerant of once a week. That's not going to necessarily annoy me. But if it's something that is continuous, there is where we have a problem. That we have community DJs or self-appointed community DJs who think that it's okay for them to just blast music at any time of the day or night. And those are the instances when I have an issue. But in this case, where it's a community festival of us in a sense, where persons come together that once a month, should persons within the community just be a bit more tolerant to this type of activity happening?
Well, we'll put a pin there and get back to this conversation. But remember, we have giveaways all throughout the morning, well, throughout the day. But you have to stay tuned to get the giveaway question and the answer. So who knows? It might be in the next segment. It might be at 8:05. But
just gotta stay tuned.
Yep. At 7:35, we have Traffic Talk. And 8:45, we're back with Activated Mornings.
This Christmas,